Imagine discovering a structure older than the pyramids, older than Stonehenge, built at a time when human beings were supposedly little more than hunter-gatherers. Now imagine discovering that the people who built it did something even stranger. After spending years creating it, they buried it, not part of it, all of it, and nobody knows why. This is the mystery of Göbekli Tepe, a place that shouldn't exist, a place that forced historians to question everything they thought they knew about the origins of civilization. For most of modern history, the story of civilization seemed simple. People learned how to farm. Farming created permanent settlements. Settlements became villages. Villages became cities. And eventually, those cities built temples, governments, and monuments. It seemed like a logical sequence. But Göbekli Tepe changed that story forever. Located in southeastern Turkey, Göbekli Tepe is more than 11,000 years old. When this site was built, the Egyptian pyramids were still thousands of years in the future. Stonehenge didn't exist. The earliest known civilizations had not yet emerged. Humanity was only beginning to leave the Ice Age behind. Yet somehow, in this distant world, people built something extraordinary. To anyone passing by, Göbekli Tepe appeared to be nothing more than a hill. But in 1994, archaeologist Klaus Schmidt suspected something was wrong. The stones scattered across the hill didn't look natural. They looked shaped, intentional. As excavations began, massive circular structures started to emerge, towering T-shaped pillars, sophisticated carvings, and evidence of construction on a scale nobody expected from people living 11,000 years ago. Some pillars weighed as much as 20 tons. No metal tools, no wheels, no advanced engineering, nothing that should have made such a project possible. This is where the first mystery begins. How did they build it? Researchers believe large groups of people worked together using ropes, wooden sleds, and sheer determination. But even if that is true, it raises another question. Why would they go through all that effort? What could possibly motivate hunter-gatherers to build something like this? Some researchers believe Göbekli Tepe was not a city. People did not live there. Instead, it may have been a ceremonial center, a gathering place, a sacred location. If that's true, then something incredible may be hiding behind it. It suggests that shared belief may have brought people together before agriculture ever existed. In other words, religion may have helped create civilization, not the other way around. But that idea is only the beginning of something much deeper, because the carvings tell another story. Snakes, foxes, scorpions, boars, vultures, predators everywhere. Symbols carved into stone with unknown meaning. No written language, no explanation. Only questions, and stone that refuses to speak clearly. And then comes the part that changes everything. They buried it. Completely. This is where part one ends. They buried it. Completely. Not because it collapsed, not because of war, not because of nature. Human beings deliberately filled Göbekli Tepe with soil and debris, thousands upon thousands of cubic meters. This was not an accident, it was a decision, and it raises the biggest question of all. Why would anyone bury something so important? Why erase something that took years to build? Some researchers believe it marked the end of a belief system, a ritual closure, a symbolic act of ending an era. Others believe society changed. New groups arrived, new ideas replaced old ones, and the site lost its meaning. But none of these explanations fully answer the question, because abandoning it would have been easier, much easier. So why bury it? Why preserve it under layers of earth? Almost as if hiding it, almost as if protecting it. The mystery deepens when you realize only a small portion of Göbekli Tepe has been excavated. Large areas still remain underground, untouched, waiting. There could be more structures, more carvings, more answers, or even more questions. Every excavation could change everything we know. But even today, the central mystery remains unsolved. More than 11,000 years ago, someone stood among those pillars and knew the truth. They knew why it existed. They knew what it meant, and they knew why it had to disappear. That knowledge is gone, and all that remains is stone and silence. Göbekli Tepe forces us to rethink everything about human history. We once believed ancient people were simple survivors, but this site suggests something very different. People capable of planning, cooperation, and building something far beyond what should have been possible. Yet the final question still remains. If you had spent years building something sacred, would you bury it? And if you did, what would be important enough to hide for 11,000 years?